Everyone? Wait a couple of minutes, as per normal, and then we'll get started. Beautiful weekend, eh? Weather's changed a bit now, but the sun's coming out. But I must admit, it's a very nice weekend. Those inclined to sports see South Africa won the series on the ODI. Get smacked in the test, but at least they won the ODI series against a strong team as well. England's a strong team, so it's good. And a big chase. So I'm going to watch that. Good news, if you like that sort of thing. Yeah, great innings. Yeah, rescued the arse and better than even time as well. Better than run of all. I've always believed in him, and I'm glad she's going to party at last. That was a hell of a total to chase as well. So that's quite something. Nobody screwed up. Everybody contributed. It's good. Yeah, I fixed it earlier on today. Somehow sticks, nothing to do about that. Remember, I just want to go over again, just to pass. Yeah, just go over again. Remember, there's three companies involved. It's the Stock Market College, which sells educational packages. There's Quick Trade, the broker, which I work for, not SMC. I work for Quick Trade. And then is the platform, which is MetaTrader 5. And that many brokers, we are just one of them, use that platform. Based in the UK, if they get a what do you call it, a glitch, immediately see it, because that's what I have the time up here actually, so you can see if it can get stuck. It's immediately mentioned to go straight on to them, but they're pretty well aware of it as well. So touch me. It's international. There's guys there sitting in very large trades starting to kick up. We get onto them and say, yeah, when they come back, say we're on it, and obviously as soon as possible. The problem is everyone on a natural basis says, I'm in a trade, I'm frustrated, what's happening, blah, 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 when it's going to be finished. Fortunately, the answer to that is how long is a piece of string? Depending on the issue, what the technical technicians, the software guys find out, how long it takes, blah, blah, blah. Obviously get on as quickly as possible, but that's clearly read. But the amount of time to fix it could be, it could be 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Everyone, JSE, everyone in the world has high insurance to cover themselves against that glitch. So if you get onto a particular trade and it goes against you and you can't get out when the thing's down, I'm sorry, I'm going to be upfront, there's no recourse. You can jump up and down, scream, shout as much as you like, but there is no recourse. It's one of those things that they've all got backup fail-safe systems, but obviously not completely fail-safe. And JSC had a couple of times, and they have a multi-million rand technology behind it. And occasionally, it gets people kick up, but it's nothing to do about it. It's insured against that. So if you get in at 10 and it's going with you. There's nothing you do about it till it gets out. If you want to follow it, go to investing.com and find the equivalent share or what share, because they're closing out. Whatever instrument you're in, you can see how it's getting on, but you can't do it till it's up and running. Obviously, they can do it as quickly as possible. Save you sort of going into it's broken down. Well, we know that. How long is it going to take? We don't know that. Simple as that. And just saying, well, hang on a minute, I want my money back because it went around. Yeah, well, we can't. It's insured. It might do you a favour, but it's one of those things. And nothing I can do about it. I just pass the message on. It's nothing to do with me. It happens when the UK guys sort it out. Okay, I'm still. Yeah, but I mean, it's like losing your internet. Just as you're about to put a trade in and you miss it. Or just about non-farms are coming in, you want to get out before the non-farms, and then you lose your internet. Whether we like it or not, I'm afraid, it's given us wonderful things, technology. The downside, we're dependent on it, and that's it. It's like you've got this magnificent car, but if you can't put petrol in it, it's a bit of metal. You know what I mean? And yeah, the petrol pumps are on strike. You can't get petrol, and your magnificent Bugatti is now a magnificent, useless Bugatti because that damn petrol, you can't get hold of it. No, don't get me wrong. I'm empathetic, completely empathetic. It's incredibly frustrating. It's real money on it, and you've no control. It's totally out of your control. Incredibly frustrating. But yeah. Yeah, a guy just sent me a WhatsApp earlier on. Says hi. That's all very good. So I went and said, yes, hi, but like, who are you? She's come back. George sent me. Well, you know what I mean? And then I summoned another one. So are you the head broker? This. Try to be patient sometimes. If you send somebody say hi, I mean, like, who are you? I mean, you want some information about what, where, and what? Hi, I've got a problem. I mean, if you receive an email, a WhatsApp saying, hi, I've got a problem. You're like, who are you and what's the problem? Oh, George sent me. Does that answer your question? How to assist? It's like some drawing teeth to get information. You need to give data so the person can obviously get onto your problem. You say the word obviously, but it's not as obvious as I often think. It's frustrating at times. You go back, the guy comes back 20 minutes later with a name, and then whatever query is, maybe it's a bigger problem. Can't solve it because I don't know who the hell's what and where it's about. So it's like saying hi to a doctor on a WhatsApp. I'm sick. Can you help? You know what I mean? Right, we've got a trade idea out. This one here. And the reason behind it is I personally think the dollar is oversold. And it's not just me, quite a few analysts think this as well. We get to Wednesday, 9 o'clock, a 1/4%, very high probability now, 1/4% increase coming out to United States interest rate decision, 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, 1st of February. That's very much priced in, expected, and maybe a half. We'll see. I think it's the following month sometime is the next one. Q&A for normal. Jerome Powell, we all know he is now. He's the chairman of the Fed. You have to know he is the most important financial person on the planet. Not the president, no, and not your wife. Sorry, but no, Powell. Okay, and almost certainly he's going to continue with his hawkish stance, but saying there's some good news coming in, but we have to maintain that, otherwise we'll have to revert to stronger medicine. Having said that, I think there might be some dollar strength creeping in. It's been holding around, let's put it up here in front of me again, around the 101.60, 70, around about that. And every time it's come off, a few bars come in. It has been hovering around the 102 mark, but I think we could. I just think it's just purely my opinion. We could get a little bit of strength coming in there. I also think the Japanese yen is a little bit overbought. And so I've got an eye on the Aussie, the GBP, and the Euro dollar as a potential sell. And we get some more direction and more data coming through before we jump the gun. But I thought this might be worth having a go at because the stop is out of the way. It's out of the way. It is down here somewhere. It's out of the way over the last 6 days. It's in a range, but it's every time it comes near that area there, with the stop is clearly below it, the buyers are coming in, and so I thought that might be an area for a trade, and that's what's sent out. I reiterate again, that's a trade idea. They are mine. I have to be honest, they are mine because the qualification's there. But just because you've got a piece of paper doesn't automatically mean you can drive the car, to be fair. It just means you're legally allowed to drive the car. I'm not Michelle, I'm putting perspective. So that's my idea, and that's what I think. Okay. Now, it's purely a trading idea. Now, just want to say there might be a few new guys in here. Think when that comes out, it's coming from somebody who really knows what's going to happen going forward. Well, I hope I've got some experience and the odds are slightly on my side, but that's all it is. So you have to make your decision. You might turn around, hang on, I think that's a short. Well, you go for short. I don't agree, I don't go into it. Basically, I reiterate again, it's a trading idea. You can make use of it or not. It's entirely up to you. But ultimately, if you go for it, it is your responsibility, not just to go for the trade, but getting the correct position volumes as well. And they're clearly spelled out. I think it should be just 0.01 and the person can do the arithmetic on it. But they say, no, go 0.01, 2, 3, and 4. Well, then, you know, I mean, I think anyone's got more money would be able to extrapolate to 0.08 arithmetic again. But if you battle to do that kind of arithmetic, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to battle to do this because you need to have, you have to have numerical literacy to go forth in life, as they say. So yeah, and that was the reasoning behind it. If you don't agree and you want to short it, as I say, do it. If you don't want to do it, you're neither not sure, don't do it. But it is your decision to do it or not. And I think that's an okay trade. So feedback on it. Do you guys disagree with it? Do you like it? Do you think it's okay? Good morning, Given. I just saw the name come up on the other one. It's your first time. Right. Well, as you think about the answering to that question, so I want to say welcome, Given. It's not really rules, but it's just making you understanding au fait with what's going on. You can unmute yourself and chit chat. You can clearly, as you've done, put aside for a live chat and ask any questions. This is not a class, this is a forum. The classes are when you learn the basic stock market college, not with Quick Trade. The stock market college educational package, you go to the classes, you learn to operate the platform, an absolute priority much. You cannot trade, we can't get a place to trade. We won't place a trade for you, but give you signals, you've got to place it. And you've got to understand basics of Forex and the basics of CFD. There are differences. Once you're in a couple of classes, then more than welcome come to the trading room. However, the trading room is, like it says, a trading room. It's not a training room. Now, I don't mind asking questions, clarifying, but there's a lot of guys spend good money to get the education. It's not fair. Somebody who comes in and thinks, I'm not going to buy any, trading package, training package, but I'm just going to come to the trading room and expect the guy there to teach me how to trade and away I go. No, you've got to know those basics and we can develop them. Much as you go to university to study maths. If you don't know 10 and 10 is 20, you're going to battle in your first university because clearly they expect to already know that. So you need to have those basics. However, nothing wrong. You can still progress. You can ask. We talk about DXY. What is that? You can copy and paste. The bottom line is, if you won't, we're not computers. You won't sit there and get downloaded. You've got to interact. If you don't react and say, I'm not sure, and don't ask, I clearly will assume you do know. So it's very important you interact. Remember, we all started at one stage. We all begin at one stage. So we more than empathize. And then some of the frustration you first start, you might, God, I've got to learn this. Well, yes, it's like anything you learn, any new skill or anything like that, it's a bit difficult learning curve. Stick it out, and then we'll do our best. We're all on your side. All I ask in return is interact and stick it out. Don't expect to sit back and somebody does it for you. This is not a communist country. Hello? Is it talking to yourself or talking to me? Because I understand you. Okay, so you sometimes get guys who don't have it unmuted and have their own private conversation. Does interfere, so I'm going to mute you all. As always, just tell me if you want to speak and I'll unmute. And that's easier then, and then we can discuss. As long as you're going to take up too much time for other people. But bear in mind, there's other people there. Of course, we understand that, and be on point. And when questions are asked for more information, please answer it immediately, not in 10 minutes time, because it holds everybody up. So if I say you're in this one, okay, you're in the euro dollar, right, what position size or what price you get in? And I get no answer. They have to move on then. Yeah, I'm saying go type it out, but just interact and give data you can. I want to look at the S&P. Fine. What do you want to do? It buy or sell it? It takes time. So I'm looking at a possible buy or sell the S&P and put that down, and we can work with it. And that's how it works. We're all here as a forum. We're all helping each other. We're all doing our best. And thank you for interacting there, Given. And just remember, if you've never seen the stock market or the Forex market before, you might find this a bit overwhelming. That's why, you need to know that. But please, I'm trying to get across to people. This is not a question of, I'm on board. What are you going to do for me? No, you've got to obviously, it's got to be a give and take. You've got to do the bit of the hard yards, a bit of effort as well, and we'll help you. Okay, I hope that's all nice and clear. Okay, right. So welcome. Good stuff. Putting it together to be sent out. It looks like, by the way, just to move on, at 3 o'clock on Friday, I'll be doing 3 till 4 o'clock. Non-farm payrolls, the jobs report, sometimes called, is coming out at 3:30. So we're having a trading session open in the afternoon from 3 till 4, which I'll be hosting. Half an hour to prepare us all before I pursue release of the figures, and a little bit afterwards to see how the reaction goes on, and not just that, other things as well. So now from 3 till 4, just putting together, it'll be sent out in fancy banners. The software guys have put fancy banners together and send it out as a reminder. I'm just saying, so just bear that in mind. And I'll be discussing the straddle trade in more detail if people want to take part of it. Finally, Anne-Marie, who tried before, and then the other guys can. But remember, if it's brand new, you haven't a clue what I'm talking about, it's meaningless to you. Don't think I'll have a bash at this and hope for the best. Positive thinking only occurs when you know a little bit about what you're doing. Otherwise, it's not being positive, it's being hopeful. It's a hopeful gamble. I'm positive red will come up in the casino, and positive line. Black could easily come up. That's not being positive, that's being hopeful. So, again, one has to sort of, come to the party a little bit on both sides. Okay, we'll help, but you have to help back. Okay. Too many people, unfortunately, said, I've got this, and I can sit back and watch it roll in. If you can find that holy grail, please tell us about it, because nobody wants to work, but it hasn't been found yet. Unfortunately. Okay, right. Hope that's all clear and understood. Yeah, so the dollar yen, I don't know if anyone has questions on it. Anyone should have received in their mailbox. It was sent to everyone, not just the VIP group, but everybody who's got 500 Rand or above. Anybody who attends the trading room, whether they've got 50 Rand or 50 million, will have access to the signal anyway. There's no differentiation there. It's just for people who haven't attended, might not get all of them. 2.5 grand or above, or $150 above, you will be a VIP member. What that basically means, cutting all the crap out, is you get more signals. Simple as that. You can't get more signals. You've got a grand in your account, you won't build coat with them. You don't have money to get them all. So you get the odd signal, but if you have more money, you'll get more. It's as simple as that. So this has been sent out to everybody. I don't know if anyone thinks it's a load of rubbish, or think it's quite good, or taking it, not taking it, or going to wait, or whatever. Any feedback? I like that, Timby. I agree. But I'm maybe a bit cautious, but I'm some downside on that, I agree. But before we do that, any questions? This is an enormous problem, Solid. And we had the staff meeting this morning about attending the trading room, and they said that it's not taken off as much as we'd like. And it's not because I hope you like the trading room. It's not providing the service people require. It's because, again, load shedding. And not everyone's can afford fancy inverters. So when it kicks in, they're just kicked out, but they can't join it, etc. It really is a massive problem, but I don't need to go into detail. Unless you've been hiding under the ground or on an alternate universe, I'm sure you know just as well as me the problem with this load shedding. So there's no point in me going on about that as well. But yeah. Okay, so can we move on for that? If you want the details and you haven't got it, or whatever reason we do it, it's a buy. Yeah, it's a buy on this one. I can go to details. We should have all received it. Hopefully got your volumes right. Clearly put out the signal. Remember, I don't know another company, when they put out a signal, I just say, significant buy on the dollar yen, stop loss TP, entry price, and that's it. They assume we can work it out. We'll even give you the potential risk reward. So that's pretty good. Okay, euro-dollar first before gold, and gold probably sit tight at the moment. We'll have a minute. I'm looking for a sell on this one as well. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant is I think that this one, the pound and the Aussie, potentially downside. I've mentioned, I think there's going to be some dollar weakness creeping in, which it's only I think it's 11 o'clock German GDP. Is it GDP coming out 11? Just a second, just let me check on my economic indicator. German GDP at 11, correct, is coming out. Might have a little bit of effect on the euro, by the way, but you might want to. There's on Wednesday, as you know, there's interest rates and the ADP's coming out, jobs report Friday, a few things coming out for the dollar. So just bear that in mind. But I do see some downside here. It's battle to get going. Technically, the 10 is battling to break. I'm not sure she'd rush into it at the moment, but if you do, you're going to have a wide stop. You have to have. Sorry, it's getting weird there. Just a second. You'd have to have it. We don't have to have. I'm strong suggesting have it up here. That's not too bad. 85 pips is not too bad. You can put it above these guys here and take it down to here. You'll certainly get the risk reward, no problem there. But I do see downside. If you want to take the aggressive role and say, we know the funders are coming out, I'm going to get the fundamentals, I'm aware I'm going to do it, fair enough. I have no problem with that. I know it's illegal, but if you're driving 140, you know the law is 120, well, that's up to you. The problem is if you're driving 140, you didn't know there's a speed limit of 100 or 120, that's where the problems occur. So in the trading room, you're aware of the pitfalls. If you want to take it, you can. It's guys, we can't set it up, who are so unknowledgeable, put it that way, not aware of the pitfalls, and then they start hurling insults at us because they think they don't realize there's a reason why it's gone wrong is because it's outside of control. They don't know the pros and cons of it. Okay. So yeah, if you want to do it, I do agree with the sell. But bear in mind, the fundamentals could screw the system up if it does go the opposite way to what I expected. And that's completely outside everybody's control. Everybody, okay, the chairman of the board, everybody's control. So on that basis, 10 bits, excuse me, do you want the risk reward? Does anybody want the risk reward? Do you want to go for it now as a sell or indeed a buy if you so request? This is what I'm trying to get across. Buy or sell. I'm looking to sell. What I've just said, bearing in mind. So I repeat, because I repeat several times, sometimes I think people are not getting it. So if I'm over laboring it up front, I've had to. Zombified, yeah, I'm looking at it, but it looks like the non-farm's coming out, the ADP, and Powell's speaking tomorrow, so be careful of that. We'll listen to the sell anyway. And then they didn't get that. They didn't say I didn't get it, and so I'm laboring it and overspending it out to overcome that problem. Okay, so anybody want to do it? We'll come to gold in a minute, please. Let's just start with this one. Okay. Actually, I was saying women are multitaskable, but that's actually not true. Apparently, it's impossible to be too multitaskable. We're not bred that way, apparently, as human beings, so I'm told. We're going to put the stop loss above here. Make it 109.44, I should do. And TP, we can take it down here. That should do the job for this time being. 1.0645, 1.0650, make it allow for the spread. Don't want to mean by say some of that, just say what you're on about and I'll explain. If you don't ask, assume you know. Don't say after you don't know if you don't ask. So to allow for the spread, I'll put it slightly higher. Don't be still in the trade if it didn't reach the TP because it reached it on the sell but not on the buy. You've all got to know what that means. You can't trade, you know what the spread is. That's like it. Okay, so that's clearly a decent risk to reward and 150 bucks. I found I'd rather have wider stops, smaller position sizes than getting stopped out with a tight stop and it goes in the direction. Very, very frustrating, which also encourages the fact that the problem is it means you need to put some more money in. Again, a guy with 500 rands, if he goes for this, he's talking about a 30% risk. It's too high. It's very few trades are going to be, you can take 500 rand, but you can take them all right, but you'll be overexposed. And some guys just don't seem to get the maths on that. 30% is an enormous risk. Enormous risk. When you've got 500, that's about 30% of your entire capital of one trade, and that's as small as you got, 0.01. Even 1% is 15%. of 15% in one area. Even that is a bit overexposed. We might squeeze it. It should really be 2% overall norm, 2 to 3% above about 25.50. And once you start going lower, you have to increase, but it should really be more than about 10% for correct equity management, which basically means now you're going to start getting close to 1,500 upwards before you can take the trade. So just bear in mind, if you've got $5 around, you might be able to trade. You're always going to be, not always, but the majority of the time, you're going to be overexposed. So you're going to miss out on a few trades. You certainly can't diversify. You don't have enough money. And if you do, even a highly leveraged account, you're going to be overexposed and you're going to risk margin call. Margin call means you haven't got enough free margin, which means your positions will be automatically closed. Then when you stop loss your own. If you don't have free margin, that is the collateral because it's a leverage instrument. Margin is the deposit, the collateral. You've got to have free margin. If that runs out, your positions will be closed. Simple as that. Just always bear that in mind. So if you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the money, don't have the equipment, remember, you can't have the same advantage as a guy who's got all three. Here. Right, so quite aggressive because there are some fundies coming out, quite a few this week coming out. So anybody want to take this? Anybody want to take this? Tembe likes it. It was your idea. At least you put your money where your mouth is. Anybody else? You guys are going to leave it. The fundies are a bit of a worry. Anybody else want to take it, or is it and leave it alone? Because I don't get two people, Tembe. You keep an eye on it. You can remind me, but I won't be writing it down. Just get somebody else to join you. Yeah, I don't blame you, Hannah. I'm just saying, I don't blame you at all. Still quite a few potholes on the road on this journey. So I'm getting no more feedback, so I won't be writing it down. Keep an eye on it, Tembe, just to remind me. Okay, right, we'll move on to gold. Now, gold, weekly snippet, I didn't see much of a gold. Yeah, I did. I see buy the pullback still. But with all these fundies coming out this week, probably better than not do anything with it, to be honest. It looks like it's coming back to 1920, but just earlier on this morning, it's up at 1930. It's dancing around. If it comes back to just below 1920, I'll be nervous to buy it because of the fundies. If it comes below, I still think I'll be nervous to sell it because of the fundies. I think gold at the moment, I think the meat on the bone is it's just not enough to take the hassle and it's set up. Okay, Mike, fair enough. So we'll stick with the gold now. So if you want to talk about Eurodollar, that please write that down because my mind now is on gold. I forgot about Eurodollar. I'm now on gold. Just bear that in mind. I'm strongly suggesting on gold, either flick a coin or you leave it alone, depending what you want to do. That's my advice on that one. Any discussion, any argument? Yeah, discussion, I like that word. Any discussions on that? Any views on that? This is a forum. I need views from you as well, not for learning from myself. I mean, Gerard, Mike, Boani, Fani, no pressure, Anne-Marie. You just for now a month, you're doing pretty well. You're certain knowledge-wise anyway. I'm your account, but knowledge-wise anyway. But so yeah, I appreciate and respect your opinions. If you want to buy it or sell it, I'm quite happy to say, Roger, no, I think it's a buy or a sell, and give me the details. But I'm definitely sitting the sidelines on this one going forward. There's too many fundies coming out to trip us off, and we've had bad experience a month or two ago with this CPI coming out and tripping us up, completely outside our control. You're in for a buy. Okay, fair enough. Sit with it. It could come right. It's been jumping around. Popped to 90.30 earlier on today, as you can see. I think it's just going to move around. There's too many outside influences to give traders much confidence. So you'll see it probably drifting. If I can see it, there's a lot of guys there, pros out there with big money who will be seeing the same as myself. I haven't got any sort of brilliant new insight on it. That's a buy. I couldn't agree more, but I'm talking about an entry. It's a buy zone there, my friend. Would you be buying it there? Like saying it's a buy zone when the share's at the roof. You'd be buying it there. Okay, anyone want to join on this one? Anyone got a feeling that they'd like to buy at these levels? Or send it. Any views on this? Thanks, Anne-Marie. Yeah, I hope someone's going to respond. Thank you. Try and respond if you can. Otherwise, we wait and time wastes. Okay. Okay. So you have a view. If you're not sure, fair enough. Okay. Gold's the last one we looked at. Okay. Then we do a bit of catch up. Not doing too well. The biggest shock with me was in CHF JPY. Oh, sorry, Brent. Brent is leave alone. And I think I've read that as well. China's back to work. Chinese New Year holidays took the whole week up back. There's no talk about OPEC increasing or decreasing with it. So you might have a little bit of increase of consumption. You might move up, but not enough to give you a buy or sell. The risk reward not worth it. Just want to mention that. Okay, thanks, Eddie. CHF, I'm surprised at that. I thought that was a very high probability one. It just shows you've got to have your volumes right. You've got to have your stop loss, because however convinced you were, sometimes these things go. And sometimes you're not so sure, and it turns out to be an absolute beaut. It's come off. I'm very surprised. Oh, this is a high probability bit of move up, but technically, I'd give you Jude. It's like a bit of sell zone, but I still think the Japanese is overbought and the Swiss is underbought, put it that way. So yeah, that looks like it didn't go too well, but then again, I still think that could get some upside from here. That being as it may. AUDCHF earlier on started creeping into a bit of profit in the file. Remember, a lot of people come in and they say, right, I've entered a trade, and an hour later, should I take profit? Well, if it zoomed to the TP, well, fair enough. And I think everyone should know by now, TP is an automatic buy or sell order exit. You assume there's enough buyers at that level. Remember, if there's no buyers at that level, which usually there is, to be fair, you'll still be in. Okay, yeah, I'm actually coming right. We got in at 47. It's now in the 30s, so it's not much, but it's come off a bit. In fact, came off a little bit more earlier on. So it's slowly but surely starting to come right. How long will you be in a trade, guys? Ask. I have absolutely no idea. Nobody does. You can be in and out the same day. You can be still in there 2-3 days later, sometimes longer. Depends on the market movements. Markets are run by, that's often be unpredictable, so many variables, by millions, literally millions of participants with different views, emotions, money, strategies, cultures, you name it. So it depends what the movement is. Once it's predictable, the market will be no more. Once you know what the numbers coming on the roulette table, immediately the roulette table will be stopped, because there'll be no buyers, there'll be no sellers, there will be buyers. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So at the moment, pretty slow, but at least it's trying to move some profit. The others can't say looking so pretty, but I think this one, I know they're still all in. So just hang on in there. You're always going to get the noise. Remember, that's a daily. If you go to the minute chart, see, you're still going to get the noise of jumping around. That's not bad. It jumped up the last minute. That's what we want. Always going to get the noise. Don't forget that. So the ups and downs, don't panic. Hey, should we change trends? I bought it, now it's coming off. No, I sold it, it's now going up. Oh, you know, your trend's your trend. You've got your stop, your TP, your strategy. Give it a chance. Okay, just bear that in mind. Right. I think it's back to square one, I guess. Not too bad. Give us a bit of jip. 145 we got in. 45 is where it is now. So it gives a bit of jip on Friday, but I say give it a chance. So back to square even. That's better than a loss, I suppose. So stick with it. We don't know. Give it a couple of days. It's always said in marriage, don't get divorced on the first little tiff. Your turn to do the washing up. Why is it my turn? You know what I mean? I'm divorcing you. So, give it a chance. Okay, Euro NZD. Don't know, you've been married, Anne-Marie, but I'm sure you've got her two arguments still there. Stick it out, give it a chance. 167. Oh, you know, slightly in profit. So there you are. You know, you're still in the trade, and we're going to get a lot of WhatsApp. So it's down now. Should I get out and take the loss? Well, you've got a strategy, and I say stick to the strategy. Literally stop. Not very happy, but I'm not saying that get out. It's down 20. You got your strategy. Stick with it. You get stopped. Well, that happens, but you could get rescued. This one at the moment, as far as we can see, is actually in a profit. So the EuroCAD's break even. AUD CHF slight profit, and this one's a slight profit. CHF, which I thought was the best of the lot of them, was actually one that gave us got back to the stop. I think 140.45. So I think that stopped out, called the trading room idea here. I think stopped out. Yeah, just dropped below that this morning. Bit surprised, but anyway. So there we are. But the others are doing well. Remember, we try and aim at 1 in 3. But it doesn't. I don't just mean in sales, guys. Let's say your hit rate is closing rate is 1 in 3. Now, out of every 3, what we're making every 4 in this case, 3 say no, 1 says yes. You get 3 yeses on the trot. You don't go up to your boss and say, I'm not bothering to phone my next 12 appointments because they're all going to, or next 9 appointments, yeah, because they're all going to say no. You get on your case. You don't know. So yeah, we say about 1 in 3 should go wrong, but you might get 5 on the trot of winners. You might get 5 on the trot of bad ones. We don't know. It's over a period of time. So just bear that in mind. But at the moment, 1's not so good. The other 3 are looking okay. So that's fine. Anything above 1 in 3, and that's 1 in 4 so far. But we don't know yet. Haven't hit the TP. I'm just trying to get to understand. But if we had a 1 in 4 went wrong, we'd be very happy. That means 75% hit rate. That'd be an interesting industry high. Guys paying good money for this is free. Signals out there. I promise you, the guys paying good money aren't getting, not maybe the first week, but you ask in 6 months' time, are they getting 3 out of 4 winners? Well, I'd be very surprised. And they're paying good money for those things. They ain't getting that. So we can carry on with that. That's okay. Euro NZT, it stopped what it shouldn't have done. See, people, what they do is they don't give you information. I'm not saying you're on fire. You're pretty good. You do get a lot of guys who get the stop loss. What they, we look and say, no, it didn't. And then we look at their account. Yeah, but they modified it. Well, it would have been if you modified it. So let's have a look. Did it? Not according to mine. According to mine, it shouldn't have hit the stop. It came close, but it shouldn't have. Unless you got something, and mind you, look at that spread. It's a bit hectic, isn't it? Look at that spread. Shouldn't be saying that, but sure, it's a hectic spread that. But it shouldn't have been stopped out. All of this. Well, I got stopped out and didn't hit mine anyway. And my mind at 1.6703 didn't hit mine. So, no, that's 1.6703, not 16730. There's your problem. Now it's a stop loss base of 1.6703. That's better. I wonder why, because I say even that spread looks a bit on the hectic side. Let's leave that alone. We'll get ourselves in trouble. Didn't get there. So 1, 2, yeah. No. I mean, I'm terrible for typos, so I'm afraid I'll still do that again. I meant 03 and it's 30. Yeah. Sympathize, yeah. We're still in. Finger typo. And I'm probably the king of the castle. Hey, Pietro. Hey, Pete. I'm king of the castle of typos. I'm a one-finger typist. My brain's about 100 times faster. Can't keep up when the typos come out. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. But it should be, unfortunately, to make it work, doing quite well as we speak. So that's in a profit. And yeah, so there it is. Okay. So looking back before, that's fine. We've got a few others out. Our good friend M Gas start to laugh at Fani and Mark on that. Just it's fun because we probably had with it. But then, it's back down below. That in gas is a bloody nightmare. Good luck anyone with into it. I'm certainly not on it. But anyway, it's up, actually, believe it or not. Hallelujah. And now it's back to normal. Come off again. Incredible. I'm going to like Nasdaq do a few views on that. I want to look at S&P. We got an S&P trade out for those who could afford and did it. Yeah, it's coming back into about breaking even. I want to spend a couple of moments discussing, not to you, but with you, on my view going forward. And I want your input. Finally, you're not just fairly knowledgeable, fairly confident to unmute. I like to hear your views. I'm doing the same story. Those are confident, it's nicer to have your views. Etienne, same story. This is a bit limited on the live chat, but we got in on the S&P at 30. It's a few pips in the wrong direction, but it's coming right. I think that's going to continue. And go, Microsoft, I hope we didn't get stopped out. I think we're going to come and move back. I think we've got to move back. Did it get there? Nope, so we're still in that one. What was the other one? GS, we should still be. Certainly should be still in that one. Plenty, where's GS? 360 didn't get there, surely. What? GS, where's GS? Can't be right. Wow. Stopped out of that one. No, it can't be right. 388. Am I imagining things? This is the daily. Oh, not bloody. Oh, I see. Sorry. That makes sense. Yeah. The dart hadn't come through. Silly thing. We all do. I've just done it myself. You often see me do this. I go to a new chart, especially when I haven't used recently for a long time. I go 4 round back again, just to make sure the data fiddles through. I had 388 up there. Now, what was going on? I went to complete bloody panic stage. Wow. Well, quite exaggeration, panic stage, but you know what I mean. Yeah, 362, still here. I'm going to say it's up here. Right, still in that one. I think we're going to get a pullback. No, I don't think it's too late at all. Look at that. Yeah. But that's for the guys who took the euro dollar one. I don't think a lot of guys are following. Was a bit worried about the fund is. But I agree with you on that one. But with the same reason, the pound and this one and the euro dollar, the fund is coming through, that stuffed the system up. That's highly aggressive. So those two trades should come right. Now, I want to go quickly on to the NAS and this old FTSE. I nearly forgot the birthday lady. FTSE, where is it now? I think F-stock will come right as well. Slow, but I think it'll come right. FTSE, probably around our breaking even. I think it's going to come off, so it should be right. Let's go to the NAS, all right? Remember the NAS, the tech stuff. I do see some dollar strength creeping in. It's not been confirmed. This is my viewpoint, guys. My viewpoint again and again. My viewpoint. I think it's going to some dollar strength's going to creep in. I see the hawkish gov has been priced in the market, and I think he's going to stick to comments slightly hawkish will give a bit impetus for the dollar. So it did. I've been saying around the 12,000 mark. I expected the week before I wrote my weekly analysis, probably got up to around that figure, and I think we'll hold around that and go a bit sideways and come off. And that seems to be happening. Went up a couple hundred pips above it, albeit, and that's what I say, if you trade, it's either wide stop. You cannot trade below 5 grand, you're going to get margin called or stopped out. You stopped too close. It's not a forex, it's an indices, much more volatile. You need a wide stop. And that's sort of within that parameter, plus minus, dropped up a little bit more than expected. The sellers came, and this is happening. It's got to break through 12,000. Might get a bit of a noise there, but I see some move down now. So that's my viewpoint anyway. So I think we're going to start coming right on some of these things like the euro dollar. I think we're going to come right. The Aussie dollar, I think we're going to come right. Pound dollar. We've got a Japanese dollar in already. NZD is one of the stronger ones. Leave it. Canada is a bit sympathetic to the US. So rather that similar, leave it. And the Swiss franc, I'm a little bit worried about because I understand why it's so weak at the moment. And I don't think that's going to last forever. So leave that for the moment. When the dollar is concerned. Okay, so bottom line is I see some downside here. And those can afford it and want to take the high aggressive risk on it. I think you can take a go at this one. I'd like not 200, but a 250 stop. I think you should go about 12,300 as your stop loss, and you can take it down to around about the 11.5 or scratch below, maybe 11.450, I don't know, around about those levels. If you've got the nerve, You can handle the blood rushing, the rush of blood you get with it, and your account can handle the high volatility and risk with a wide stop. $25 is about 400 grand. So you need, I would say, probably preferably around about the 6 grand or slightly above in your account. So look at it for 1 micro. Okay, that's my take. Yeah, but I think give it a bit of time, it'll come right. You shouldn't have been stopped out. I've got down here 256. Did you get there? This is a daily. You shouldn't have been stopped out. Stop. I got the right figures in here. Yeah, you shouldn't have been stopped out. This is a daily chart. We only came out with a couple of days ago. You shouldn't have been stopped out. Again, your stop loss has been in the wrong place, or you modified it. A lot of guys do that. They complain. We check on the journal because every time we touch it, it's recorded. And they found, yeah, I already stopped out from Mr. Smith or Mr. Jones or Mary Jones or David Jones or David Jones's locker. It's because you modified your stop, and that's why. Nice bit of information you could have told me before you complained about it. You know what I mean? If you modified your stop to about there, then you would have been stopped out. You know, we get that a lot. Yeah, it's all recorded. Okay, so you shouldn't have been, bottom line. So it should be all of those. Okay, so coming back to what we're talking about now, NASDAQ. Anyone got the money, the risk appetite to try that one with a wide stop? Good to have you, Brady. That's your name there. Good stuff. Okay, okay, no problem. I'm just passing on. Fantastic. Okay, no problem. Just throwing it out there. I think some guys are in the S&P. That one we got in around about 40.30. So anyone likes that one, a lot cheaper to get into, and it's slightly better than the one we got in. Anyone wants to do that one? I'm just going to scrunch it a bit. Take it up there. Yeah, we're talking in the region probably about what's $10, about 170 rand. 170 rand a micro is it's like a forex one. You can, it's more palatable to the guys. Okay, so if you don't want to do the NAS, for the German 30, sell it. Yeah, I'm happy with that beautiful. But yeah, for the NAS, yeah, are you going to trade this for? Don't send this out to your guys. Hey, this is far. Do not send out to your guys out there. It's no, it's no. But if that comes back to certain guys, I'll have a word. Most of them don't have the kind of Tom and understand to trade this thing. But I'll put it up, and it's not for the demo accounts. Don't say, "Oh, play around with demo," wasting everyone's time. They are 427 bucks a micro. Yeah, they are. The original ones, it's more to say, 414. Uh, 38. So it's in the right place. Yep, looks like it. Good enough. Any problems on the weekly? Not really. That'll do. Yeah. So there you are. We've got one out already. So you're already getting on. That's only 10 pips above our entry at 30. Or you get a slightly better entry there if you want to. When do you decide to stop a trade if you're going to make a profit or loss? When do you decide to stop a trade? Oh, stop a trade. Sorry, my reading. I'll come to that in a second. Right. I've already written down. I'm not going to write it down again. So anyone who's not in wants to take it. There's the stuff for you. $170 on micro. Got that, Lorenzo? Got it. Great stuff. Can I knock it off and answer? Mr. T, there, I'll call you Mr. T. If you want to pronounce the name, I do beg your pardon. If I'm Roger Deville, call me Mr. R. You call me Sir R if you like, but I'm still waiting for the Queen to knight me. She hasn't done, no, the King now, isn't it? The King to knight me. You haven't come back to me on that as yet, so just joking. Just kidding. Right. This is an important question. Mr. T's asked, when do you decide to close, stop, close, exit a trade, make a profit or loss? I've said before, I'll say it again, the most difficult thing of trading is when to exit. Not to when to enter, that's not that easy. When to exit. It's the most difficult thing of all trading. And to expect to get it right is more, if you do, it's luck than judgment. You know, you sold short here, you didn't know that's going to happen, and you get out there and take your profit, comes off that further, you didn't know that. Or you sold it short here, you're hanging on, going on, and waiting for it to come down more, you're holding on, the thing suddenly bounces up, now you're annoyed. You won't be able to pick bottoms or tops. If you do it, that's luck. It's like picking a lottery number. That was luck. It's not skill involved. That's pure luck. When to exit is impossible. And that's why two things you can do. You can modify your stop loss, close part position. What do I mean by that? Let's go through it quickly, guys. Let's say you're going with 10 micros. 0.01 is a micro. You're going with 10 micros. And it's going up and up and up and up. Don't get your stop too close. Keep a distance. If you go too close, you're going to get stopped out in the noise. Going up nicely. Your TP, let's make the TP here as an example. Doesn't really matter. Just an example. There's your TP. It's going up here. Maybe this one makes it for you. Going up there. Your stop's down there. Move it up, made to entry, protecting yourself. It's going up nicely. It's coming off. It's going up nicely. It's coming off. It's getting about here. Modify your stop. It's getting about here. Bit of noise around here. You move your TP out the way. Pass the TP. Move it out the way. Up there somewhere. It's around, but you're getting a bit nervous. It's hovering a bit. You've got 10 micros. Then you bank 5 micros. You let the other 5 run. Move your stop up a bit. If you stopped out, fair enough. It continues upwards. Maybe bank another 2 or 3. Modify your stop. If it comes back down, you stop down. If you think, hang on a minute, it's not likely to get my TP, which is there. It's starting to come off. I'm a bit worried other stuff's coming out. Deal with it. I'm going to get out of it. If it turns around and goes up, well, so be it. It's your decision. You will know when to get out. It's impossible. That's a variable. I don't know. There's another 10,000 people suddenly buying there. I don't know. There's another 10,000 people suddenly selling there. Buy and sellers affect the ups and downs of the noise. You see the noise, the up and down. So to answer your question, it's impossible. So Mr. T, you suddenly WhatsApp me and you say, my trade's going all right. Should I exit now? Or it's not going so well. Should I get out? I'll always reply, stick with your strategy. I can't tell you to get out because it might pop up and now you're annoyed. I don't know. So I say straight to the trade, or if it's going well, I'll say maybe suggest you modify your stop loss and all these things. But no one knows exactly. So you're going to make that decision. You might be very lucky. You're in a long, you got out at that point and it comes off. Might happen once or twice in your trading lifetime. That is luck, not judgment. I hope that makes sense. Oh, and welcome. Beg your pardon, welcome. Shaker. Try that. I can pronounce that. Shaker. Make sense? Hope you all got that, not just Shaker, but everyone else. So don't ask me, when do I get out? Or should I get out now? Nobody answers that question. Makes sense. Yes. Remember, this is millions of people trading with large amount of variables involved. That's why it's speculative. It's like a motor car. You know, you don't know you're going to get from Joburg to Cape Town on your holiday or whatever, but you do have an airbag. You do put your seatbelt on. You don't drive drunk. You obey the traffic laws. Don't speed or whatever. and try and get a bit of skill involved and make sure this, that, and the other. There's no guarantee someone could stream out in front of you, you know what I mean? But you try and sort of look at it, take a viewpoint. My viewpoint is this is going to come down, and that's my make it. I have a stop loss in case I'm wrong. Wasn't I wrong? Because there's a large amount of people out there studying buying. And remember, the large amount of people, this is very important. I mentioned before, I repeat it again, are what we call retail traders. The retail traders, a large amount of new people come in and not that knowledgeable, not necessarily institutional pros, etc. And they are normally trading strategies more emotion than rationality, and they do things through emotions, and that can, a large amount of them together collectively can have effect on the price, which can be sometimes illogical because then mixing emotions. Oh, that's looking like it's come off a lot. I think, or it's a bit high. I think I'm going to sell it, and they all sell it, sell it. Well, because so many people, the retail market pushing it down, even though there's nothing wrong with it, it's still pretty strong, will have a negative effect if the volume's involved. As a large as that emotion moving up and down, you cannot counter for. Okay. Just the big thing is to understand the overall picture, which will get a bit of time as you come through. But dissuade yourself, whatever you've been told about. All you do is you get in here, have your phone handy, tap out what signal you got, and you can make some sort of easy money. There's no such thing as easy money. You've got to put some effort in. If it was, there'd be no unemployment, nobody's studying anyway. Why bother studying if you can make as much money as a surgeon by making no effort? What would the point of being studying to be a surgeon? Like the tennis, and the amount of work to win a Grand Slam is enormous. You can get some pop a pill and win a Grand Slam, no effort. Why go all that practice getting up and doing the stuff and fitness and right health and that, God knows what. You know, so it takes a bit of effort, take a bit of time to understand it. It's a new skill, and there's a lot of variables which will always be variables which are the unknowns. The market movements, the unknowns, you take a viewpoint. Hope that's all clear. I will repeat it again for you guys coming in to the sick to death of hearing it, especially guys that have done it before. But emotion, it plays a big part because it goes against a lot of our built-in expectations. I always say, you get in Joburg to go to Durban, you think after 3 hours and you should be in Arrowsmith, after 6 you're in Durban, not in trading. After 3 hours, you're still in Joburg. After 1 hour, you're in Pietermaritzburg. After 6 hours, you're bloody nearly stopped out in Pretoria. What the hell's going on? That's trading. The ups and downs can get to you a bit. And remember, we cannot know that. And that's what creates the market. There's got to be a buyer for a seller. There's got to be a seller for a buyer. I know that's coming down, by the way, guys. The problem is no use to me, because if I know, everyone else knows. So if no, it's going to go down, I can't get the product off somebody because he's not going to give it to me to sell it. You know what I mean? I know your house is going up, Anne-Marie. I know it's guaranteed. Because Anne-Marie knows that as well. So Anne-Marie, will you sell me your house? No, she ain't going to do that, is she? Why would she? Or I know, Anne-Marie knows the house price going down. We've got a lot of people moving in, this lowering the value of the area. So she wants to sell it. The problem is I know that as well. So she can't sell it because I ain't going to buy it. You get the idea. You've got to have a willing buyer and a willing seller have different opinions to create the market. I hope that's all clear. Right, well, let's see how we're going from there. Okay, I hope that was clear. Everyone must have the position size calculator. I've mentioned that before. Do not trade if you have no idea what your volumes are. Always go to specification and check your specification. Look at the contract size, 100,000. On a share, it's 1. Different contract size. Contract size is 1. It says different volumes. Contract size and gold, the same as the Dow, the Nasdaq, but different figures. You need to know that. Do the maths. If not sure, go to class, interact, ask. Otherwise, you're getting the same position volumes for every single instrument. That's not going to work. Those little things you can control. What happens to the S&P for now? Go back up there and down, nobody knows. The other stuff like the specification, contract size, the basic arithmetic involved, understand your leverage, where to get the margin, what that means. That is controllable, and that's something you can learn. Getting the volumes right using the calculator. understanding the fact there's economic fundamentals coming out, which I'll copy and paste for you guys again. The new guys, keep it, refer to it, jump in. If it's a major fundamental, we talk about a lot in the trade rooms coming out in an hour's time involving the dollar, you're going to be suddenly entering a new trade because anything can happen. These big jumps are often fundamentals. Big jumps are fundamentals, not trading. The dollar index, very important. Everything's running around the US dollars, we know. Trends, culture, you name it's about the dollar. So you got what's going on there. So you want to look at that, see what the dollar index is doing. So what you do, you come to the trading room, you take the effort, well done, Mr. T and Company, and you copy and paste that and save it in your browser. Oh, hang on a minute, I don't have a laptop. Well, until you can afford one, it's fair enough, but don't expect to compete with the guys who've got monitors, laptops, knowledge, and decent funding when you haven't. As I say, I have no problem you buying an old jalopy. Don't expect that jalopy to keep up with that guy's top of the range Merc. That's why do you think the guy spent 2 million rand in that Merc and not 10 grand on jalopy if they had the same resultant? You get the point, common sense. Expecting a lot when you give a little, no. It's got to be some sort of trade-off. Okay, well, that's clear. Right, something came up this morning, discussed. Let's see if I'm wrong on this. I wasn't too keen. I look, it might be some upside. The others thought might be some down. Because I have to put my name against it. I chickened out, so we left it alone. See what's happening here. Looks like I was wrong on this. No, I was right. Came down here and they thought it was a sell in there. And a couple of them thought it was a sell. And I said, I'm more inclined to the upside, but because it was busy breaking earlier on today, this particular one, I'll put it on the hours, probably a bit clearer there, this particular moving average round there, I said, no, I'm expecting some weakness in the Japanese yen, some strength of the euro, I see some upside. So, you know, if management want to send it out, they've got to send that I'm not for it, so they can't send it out. It's fine. They haven't got the piece of paper. So my responsibility, and I decided to sit on the fence because I saw a bit of upside and the other guy saw a bit of down, so to leave it alone. I'll tease the guys tomorrow morning. At the moment, I might be right at the end, but it looks like the upside was the name of the game. They want to sell it around about this level here, or pending it will break below that. As it tried to break below, and then of course it popped up. So that seemed to come to the party a little bit. Right, things are all very bit. That was okay. What do we do now? Let's get practical. Do we buy it? Yeah, if you can pull back and this can hold around about the 140.80, I see a buy there. I wouldn't be chasing it now. The reason why I won't be chasing it now, if you're following me, is the maths. My next target is there. That's been holding for the last week or so, which is only 70 odd pips away. I want to put the stop down here, which is 90 pips away. Anybody here want to risk 90 to make 70? If you want to do that, I'll happily pick up the risk reward for you. I'll do that if you want, but I'm rather suggesting you don't. You get my point. If you're not sure, I go too fast. Don't be rude about it. Say, Roger, the nicest possible way, run that by me again, or you're going too fast, I'll try. It's beginners, but it's also the other guys who get on and they want to move on it as well. So I'm trying to cater for more than one party, just remember that. But yeah, I won't be chasing now. The maths are against it, so you're going to pull back. It looks like the buyers come to the party. Okay, GBP, JPY. If you want to come back to it, always you can do. Oh, do you look already? Can we look at it again? Of course you can look at it again. If you missed it, you came a bit late. It's not your fault. Maybe you had load shedding, you had a meeting. I have no problem at all. We look at it again. You want to go for a long, see what entity. So you say, we'll look at GBP, JPY, and want to look at it for a long or a short. So that's what I need. Fantastic. Okay. Right. Clearly, a couple of things come to mind. First of all, it's the round figure 161. Number two, 10 days held, but that's the smallest. The bigger ones, the 200 and the 50-day moving averages, and the less extent, the 100. It's below all three. It's still more or less in a weaker zone. Okay. The Japanese, however, It's been strong for a while. I'm not sure that's going to continue forevermore. And Lorenzo's thinking maybe we can get a bit of a turnaround in the yen. My other little bit of a question is, I'll be honest with the pound. I do trade. I'm open-minded on it, but it's my least favorite of the currencies. When I say the major and the crosses, I'm not talking about these exotics here. It's my least favorite of it. Now, they've got interest rates coming out again on Wednesday. Bank of England have, bear that in mind. Okay, so just bear that in mind. I think it's the euro as well, but certainly the dollar as well coming out. That's got to be borne in mind. So until I see a break of that range, I'm a little bit nervous. So maybe what Renzo says, let's trade that range. So what we got? We've got enough meat in the bones. Can we take it up there? It's 85 pips, right? That's your profit. Can we get about a 40 pip stop? 50 pip max? 75. No. For that reason alone, I leave alone. Plus, there's some sort of resistance there. It popped its head and came off, popped its head. For that reason, well, amongst many reasons actually, to be honest, Lorenzo, I see more reasons to say leave it alone than to buy at that level. So from my opinion, and I hope it's clear what I've just said, would be to leave it alone. Any questions from yourself, Lorenzo, or anybody else on that analysis? And no, more to the point, guys, this is a forum. You've got your opinions. Zeph proved that many times. And I think, what a nicest possible way, Roger, I don't agree. You'll see how bloody right you thought you're a great idiot. Might be overdoing it a bit, but look at this. This, and this, I think it's a buy here. Hang on, look at the weekly. That could be a sell there. Okay, which I haven't done, but you get my point. Let's have a look at the weekly. Well, look at the weekly. If you're going to take the weekly, you got a problem here. That's about, I'm just over 100 pips away. Stop down here, ain't going to work. Do the 4 hourly. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly. Sure, it's broken through on the 4 hourly. That is giving a plus to Lorenzo. Sure, but is it going to hold on the 4 hour resistance? The one ain't going to tell me anything. That's just a sudden burst. Don't know where it came from. I have no idea where that came from. That sudden burst up. Will it be sustained? Let's look at the 15. Any sellers coming on the 15? Looks like already a couple of sellers might be coming in. In other words, you got your 2 hands up. Tick to buy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tick to sell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever. I've got more ticks on both sides to leave it alone. Got quite a few ticks not to buy it, but not enough ticks to sell it. So I'm going to go the LIA route. Are we happy on that, Gerard? Are we happy on that, guys? On that analysis before we move on? If you're not, you should say so and then look at it. That's the point. Okay. Have I missed anybody that's going up there before we go on to the next one's requested? Okay, we're all happy with that. Okay. You want to go with the pound NZD? Sure. Didn't we have one out there the other day? I think we've got one game still on that one. We've got stopped down, or is it the 3-3 or what the hell? All right. Been out for last. Just give me a moment, guys. Check GBP on the 26th. What are we now? The 30th. Couple of days in between. So that's 2 days trading. It's the 3rd trading day, remember? It's Saturday and Sunday count. We've got to sell. What do you want to do on it? Sell it, right? Where's Gerard? Your NZD hit stop loss. What, it must have been a minute or two ago. GBP NZD, right. We had what, 91.20 for sell, GBP NZD. Did we get stopped out? 92.26. It was on the 26th, remember? No, we did. We're still in that trade. I presume from that you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking. Basically, we're still in that trade. So do I want to go in now? Well, it's practically where we entered, actually. It's slightly better, but not much, 91.20. I still see the sell. I prefer it slightly higher, but maybe you missed it now. So maybe I'm picky, yeah. I still prefer it. That was a 91.20 entry. I still prefer it there, which happened probably in the last few minutes, actually. Yeah, I'm still for the sell. Maybe just hang fire, might bounce up again. If you're still in it, stay with it. It's been out for 2 or 3 trading days. We've still got to trade out. Doing okay at the moment. Did okay. Came right down here, as you can see. In fact, do a 4 hour. Came right down here. then popped up again. I think a lot of guys might have taken profit. See you come from that, Ella. You might take your profit and do enter again. Yeah, you're pushing it a bit. Well, not really push. I suppose you're chasing it a bit now. Not pushing it, wrong word. Chase a bit now. That's up to you. If you want to chase it now, yeah. If you want to maybe get to the top of the 1 hour candle again, if you can get a bounce up there, sell it from there. Maybe sell it from there if you can. You might get a slightly better price. Only about 10 pips in it, and so be it. Up to you. But yeah, you got the same. Use the same figures as the previous trade. Okay. Euro NZD. We've got that out at 67.03 as a stop. No, it didn't. No, it didn't hit the stop loss. Oh, it hit the TP. Jeez. Wow, you caught me there, Safara. Talk about a Freudian slip. Oh, that's not a very confident attitude. Immediately look at the SL. Ha! Brilliant. You caught me on that one. God, that's a Freudian slip. No, SL. What's that? TP? I thought you meant there. I'm embarrassed. I told you it happened to me 18 months ago. Guy wondered why he was out. We look at it, don't know any why. The reason why it hit because it hit his TP. Embarrassment. Yeah. Okay, what was the TP? 67.03. Oh, not quite. Oh, maybe it did. Hang on. It did. No, 68.90. It was stop loss, idiot, Roger. No, it didn't. We got a TP of 68.90, and we got on that one on the 27th. This is now 27th was there, right? That's 26th. Yeah, we got in there on Friday, and yeah, no, it didn't. It's the TP's up there somewhere, so it hadn't hit the TP set, but it's in the profit. We got it at 67.60. It's in 20 pips profit. It's a long way away to go if it gets there, but at least it's going the right way. If you're still in, well, I just answered Gerard on that one. Ah, yeah, caught me there. Clearly says TP on there. No argument. SL went to panic. Yeah, at least I can laugh at myself, eh? Okay, yeah, sorry to forward this. No, care about sending out NASDAQ to guys unless they got Tom and understand it. But otherwise, a screen for a margin call, and you're going to pick up all sorts of hassles. You know, the guys who don't know, no money, you know the guys, the rats and mice, you know what I mean? Careful. It's not worth the tiny bit of money on the IB Pro you get from the hassle you're going to get from it because the lack of knowledge. Just be careful. Okay. Yeah, so that's still going around. GBS still in. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, just hang 5 on that finally. I'd say it's only a couple of days, but a long time. Some guys sit with shares equity for years. Just so, yeah, give it a bit of a chance. It seems to be coming right. In fact, a lot of them looking pretty bad coming right. I stick my neck out. I think the share ones looking a bit iffy are going to come right. And would really make my day would be the FTSE for certain. This is fun. That's probably Funtenberg. Yes, and that comes right. That would be my happy birthday to you if that comes right. So I think it's going to. You know, I'm going to stick my neck out on that. I think it's going to. Now, I always say you shouldn't be too emotional and all the rest of it. Well, don't listen to me when I say that because I'm extremely emotional. The trades are going well. I'm on top of the world. You can pick out my body language. I can't hide it. What you see is what you get with me. When I come in a bit of a foul mood and a bit waspish with the tongue, don't take it personally. It's the trades are not doing it. I bloody well tell them. You know what I mean? When they're not going my way, it is not right. And yeah, I'm making a bit of a joke now, but yeah. I shouldn't be, but I do. So it's not for me to turn around and say, control your emotions and blah, blah, blah. No, you should start at home with that. Yeah. So you get those guys ultra analytical. Those are guys to speak to, they can. But I'm what's called an emotional drive. You know the quadrant? You get analytical, amiable, driver, and emotional. And you get should be ideally a little bit of everything there. I'm what's called, I did my personality test. I'm what's called a driver emotional or emotional driver. and been electrical in there, but mostly a driver emotion. And so, yeah, come on with a bit of snappy mood, you know, the trades aren't going too well. Okay, so yeah, AUD USD, somebody asked about earlier on. I've looked at GBP USD, let's a quick look at it. I'm seeing potential downside on that. Oh, sorry, MB. Bloody hell, what about that? That's right, you asked about that. Yeah, I'm seeing, I think stick with euro dollar one. I think you're jumping the gun on that one to try and get cute on this. Is it? Thanks from Tomby. If you want to get the right side of me, people, just flash on their good news. I'm a bit like these dictators. If you're my generals, you tell me good news, even if it's a complete bloody lie. Don't tell me bad news. Don't hear it. I want to live in a state of denial. I'm only kidding, you know what I mean? Thanks for that, Tommy. But anyway, yeah, I think to increase your portfolio with selling the Aussie, I think it's getting a bit too aggressive. You've got the euro, it's very aggressive. A lot of fund is coming out, and if you're overextended in one sector, i.e. buying the dollar, things go wrong, you get a triple whammy. Think a little bit careful. Right, and it goes right as expected, and you make 100 instead of 400, you're not happy, but you'll be even less happy if you lose 300 instead of 100. Just bear that in mind. But yeah, I see the possibility of them chasing right now. And look at your DXY, it's not really getting going, it's popping up, and then a bit of profit taking. I think it's going to be a hit set one of those weeks, all these fund is coming out, there might be some sideways on the dollar. But I'm look at the pound dollar, we look at the euro as we speak, but look at the pound dollar as well. I think it's possibly a downside on that, but be careful. As you can see, as it comes off, the buyers that come in. That's just telling me the big boys are indecisive. So let's just, if you want to go 50-50, you can buy it or sell it. That's a 50-50. So my advice to you, if you want to trade that, get your coin out of your pocket, heads you buy, tails you sell it. There you are. Leave it up to the gods to work it out for you. Okay. So dollar yen's doing okay. So it's good to hear. What price are we getting on the dollar yen? 129.60. Yeah. Let's see if we can hold on to the round figure. Might get a couple of sellers coming in taking profit. A lot of guys put the TPs around that. And some people just manually exit around the round figure. So you might get a bit of noise around this. It needs to be sustained and maybe get small movement upwards. It's about time that bloody did. Bloody about time they're finally. I'm afraid to say I'm going on with Mark Shearer on Swissy. That's so giving me, you know, that sort of Gen Z or Gen Z call it. It's just so whatever, you know how they say it. It's so giving me some happiness, but I still see upside on that. If you're still in, hold it. If you're out, well, I still think there's upside there. But I think rather buy the pullbacks. I think that's gonna start getting some strength, but I wouldn't join it now. KOF isn't good. I'm sorry, but my pay grade is KOF. What's the KOF? What fund is the KOF indices? I don't know the KOF. My knowledge didn't stretch that far. What KOF indices is that? What fund is that? See, I'm willing to learn. If I don't know, I'm willing to learn. Put my hand up, so I don't know what the KOF is. What is it? Let Zeus decide, yeah. Or Thor. Or Odin. Sorry, finally, what's KOF? Sorry, I think you mute everyone. I'm reading for to speak. Right, if you want to speak, you can do. What's muted?
Hi, Roger. It's a leading bank indicator. So it seems that it came out as 97, which is excellent when they predicted only 93 on the forecast.
KOF. I'll just take 2 seconds to put that into my Googling thing. Search engine.
indicator related to the banking confidence in Switzerland.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'll check it out afterwards. KOF indicator banking. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, good enough. All right. CAD agent, CHFJPY. Yeah, it's more like it. Yeah, I think we got stopped out on that, but I see upside. I very much see upside. Trouble is, this is giving us, we can't get a risk reward to there. 80 pips, you've got to take it there. But I definitely see it. But anyway, see if we can get a pullback. If it comes back down here again, I'll definitely buy it. Even I lost the last couple of times, I'm definitely going to get it. NZD CAD, I think we got that. Anyway, do something else. There's some gold there, still jumping around 1920 market. NZD CAD. Yeah, I think there's a bit of strength coming in, which is American. I find the Canadian seem to be following the for whatever reason. So that might apply then to the Canadian. You want to buy it and you just sell the Canadian. Ooh, yeah, no. I think probably more prudent to stay clear of that. That's it. I'm certainly going to stay clear of it. Personally speaking, I'm staying clear of that. Whether you agree with me or not, that's up to you, of course. I'm going to stay clear of that. Put that into Google, and I got some joking. King of Fighters games come out. So KF, they came up with the King of Fighters. So that's quite what you meant, but I'll search it properly later. That's my opinion. I mean, yeah, anyone disagree? Anyone see a buy there? Well, clearly nothing happening on the last candle. That's indecision. Sales are coming already. The 50 is holding, and fundamentally, I'm not too sure. I do quite respect New Zealand, but I'm starting to maybe gain a little bit of confidence now in the US. No, not enough in there for me to even think of taking the risk on it. Far more reason to leave it alone. Okay, you happy with that for now? Okay, dollar yen, is it holding the 130 mark? Hey, it is. Do you think it's too quick to put your stop up? 29.60 to get in at 129.60. Remember, you see the entry 129.60. If it's about 129.70, probably if your risk reward is worthwhile, chase it. If it's better than 129.60 and you like the trade, well, clearly you take it because it's better than market. Had some problems on Friday getting that through to somebody. If it's a better price, clearly, what a pleasure. I mean, you know, you didn't want to go for it because it wasn't the same as the EP. And so it was a way, way worse. Probably not, but it's way, way better. Somebody knew if you like the trade. So you should go around about the 60 mark. It's now 50 pips away. I think you can modify your stop on that to protect yourself. But don't do that if you got it 130.90. Some guys just dive in anyway without looking at the EP. And then, of course, the whole risk reward they worked at that's completely up to maggots. Clearly, because its EP is now, it's jumped, so the TP is much closer, and corresponding, the stop loss is further away. So instead of being 108, it's now about 160 around a micro. So just bear that in mind. If you lose 200, you should have lost 150 because you entered nowhere near the EP. You get a better risk if it's better. I mean, it should be common sense. You want to buy my house £1 million. If you can get it for 950, well, what a pleasure. If it's now 1.1, you might think it's a bit expensive and wait for a better price. Same sort of risk. But yeah, I seem to be doing pretty damn well. I'm happy with that. In fact, I'm very made up of it, actually. 131's a TP. Go, you guys, go. Yeah, so we've got in around about the AP as a signal, which said this morning. I think you can modify to just above entry, protect yourself, cover costs. In fact, you can do better. I think you may get at 130.70, still well below the round figure, even if it pulls back a bit. Well, it pulls back all that way. I don't know, something wrong somewhere. And it stops you out. I'm sorry about that. And it comes down and bounces up to 131. You'll be annoyed. Again, it's your decision. You might say, all right, I don't get to stop close. I want to hit the TP, your choice. But yeah, I think don't cut your position, let it run. And it seems to be doing okay for the moment. The pullback, we know the market. So yeah, you're with me all on the same page. But if you want to modify, if you put it to 130, 129.70, it means you covered your costs and there's a couple of bucks in you. Not much, but at least you're taking the risk out of it. Are you happy on that basis? Well, you got the information, up to you whether you do it or not. Can't spend it out any more than that. Well, can, but if you request it. If you're not sure what I mean. And don't say, how do you modify? You should not be trading if you don't know how to close or modify your position. Very, very important. And quickly, you can't find, if you haven't got it in the watch list, that's the watch list there. Quite simple, just go down and add it. You got it all. Thanks, Tomby. Right, pretty nice, yeah. 55 pips in the morning. That's pretty damn good. Don't spell all the time. It's not bad at all. Let's have a quick look at the other ones. AUDCHF. Let's go have a quick recap going into the close for the day, for this morning. Don't forget this afternoon we're open. 47. That's about 20 pips. I think it's a bit close to modify to break even as yet. 20 pips. Could even knocked out and you make no money, it goes on. So leave it for the moment, leave your stop for the moment. You maybe make it a bit tighter, maybe take 20 bits closer if you want, just to reduce your risk, but don't get to even Stevens yet, it's a bit close. We'll have another check later on. Euro CAD, we got in at 45 on the nail. 16 in profit, too close, but at least it's now in the blue, guys. Do I hear some blue talk instead of red talk out there? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. At least it's nearly 20 pips in the blue. Too close to modify, but at least it seems to be trying. The other one we got at 67.60 as a buy. Euro is NZD. Again, it's only about 20 pips away. No, hang on. What are we getting? 60. It's about 40 pips away. 40. Aha. Slightly different. Now, this one you can modify because it's right up against the round figure of 68. So you might get a bit of noise here. So you can modify this one. So you denies an Euro NZD. Sorry about this, Fahmy. You've had the correct stop loss, should be in it. You can put it up to the entry of 67.60. And then obviously you protect yourself against a loss. And now you can ride the winner. 40 pips is fine as a gap. Not too close. Are we all good with that? What a pleasure to start a sodding Monday like this, eh? We've had some bad Mondays and we had some indescribably boring Mondays. This is a nice start. Maybe because it's an open, had a pretty good weekend, I have to say. I went to see Johnny Rocksmith, hope you heard of him, South African star. Go and see him, Monte Cassino from Joburg. Absolute class act. Totally go and see that guy. So much mediocrity running around. To see a proper South African bred class act, go to it. Preferably over 30 years of age, but he's someone music might be a little bit before your time, I don't know. It's no rap in it, I mean, I think turn on, but the quality was there, and certainly put me in a good mood. And yeah, so we carry on to Monday. Hope it continues. Okay, so you can modify that, modify the yen. Hang on to the AUD and CAD, but they're in profit. Euro dollar, we didn't take it, but just to see what's happening to euro dollar for Tembi's sake. Don't know what price you got, I can't remember. I didn't write it down, but maybe it's about break even. FTSE might be coming right for our good friend there. No, it's hovering a bit, but I think it should be coming right. Just give that a bit of time. I think it's going to, yeah. Remember, it could jump around tomorrow. Was it Wednesday? Bank of England announce interest rates and the rest of it. We'll see. S&P, any coming right there? It's about even Stevens. That's fine. Oh, good friend. And gas before closing. Low entry, but I think many people took it, including myself. And then we wait for the shares for 4:30 opening. Gold, we hit the TP twice. Leave it alone this time around. Too many funders can knock it around. Could easily pull back to 1900 or take off from here. There's too many ifs and buts. Don't enter it again. Okay. That's about me summed up. I went through the last part fairly quickly. I just want to say thank you to you guys joining. I hope you're picking stuff up. Hope you understand. You don't be frightened. We're here to hold your hand. You're here to, make progress. But remember, it didn't take you a week to learn how to play the piano. It'll take you more than a week to learn how to play the forex and the trading markets, the international markets. So, but stick on in there. Hope you're learning. Hope you're making progress. And it's nice to have a Monday where we should be seeing some blue. If you're doing it correctly with the trading room. If you're doing your own stuff, I can't account for that clearly. At JPY, a lot of guys took profit there, Farney, and I think you probably did yourself. Look to mind possibility of a sell. Not much is happening. I think it's probably best to leave that alone. Enjoy the Blue Monday, yeah. Thank you, Andy. We should take profit originally. Okay, guys, great. Catch you later. Thanks very much indeed, and catch you later. 4 o'clock, don't forget. Don't forget, 11 o'clock, the GBP, the German GDP. German GDP is coming out. Not sure it'll be major or not. We should have a quick check of it. Okay.